Pandit ji. Okay, thank you so much. Namaskar. Good morning. Swari Khap, Swari Chow. Welcome everyone again to our Republic Day celebrations 2019. This is indeed a very special Republic Day. This is the 70th Republic Day, 7 decades of India being a republic. And it is so wonderful to see this gathering here today, such a diverse gathering. We have people from the Indian community of Chiang Mai, we have Indian citizens with us, and we have friends of India from Thailand and from many parts of the world. So welcome all. I would first like to invite and welcome the chief guest of today's function, the president of Northern Chiang Mai University, Dr. Narong. Thank you so much, sir, for attending this occasion. Please be seated. In fact, I am given to understand that Dr. Narong had an appointment in Bangkok which he cancelled in order to come for this function. So we are deeply honored. Also, my wife, my beloved wife, talented Rajni Basumatari, was in India. She ensured that she came back last night by midnight to be here for our Republic Day. Thank you so much, Rajni, for being here. We also have from North Chiang Mai University, Ajahn Vivat, who is the advisor to the president. And I must also tell you that he has recently written an article about Mahatma Gandhi, which is shortly to be published. Thank you so much, Ajahn Vivat. Also from Northern Chiang Mai University, we have Professor Bongchok Sudasna Na Ayuthaya. Is he here? He couldn't make it, all right. And Dr. Patapon Silaruk, the director of the International College. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Sawit Tachumpa and his wife, Mrs. Niranath Tachumpa, lecturer in Northern Chiang Mai University, and Mr. Dhruv Chaudhary, one of our own. He is the international manager in Northern Chiang Mai University. Thank you so much for you all to be present here today. And we also have some distinguished guests of honor who I would like to introduce. We have Kun Nut, who is, or I should say her full name, Kun Surya Warwanya Surya Chakawan. Please, Kun Nut has recently been appointed as the president of the Thai-Myanmar Cultural and Economic Association. We are really honored that you could come today for this function. And along with Kun Nut, we have her colleagues, Colonel Tiger, a very special friend from Myanmar, from Karen State, and also Mr. Eddie Tan Soon Wah from Singapore, who is the international coordinator of the association. We also have with us present today Kun Chiap. I should also say her full name, Kun Salanpat Singh Jaidi, who is representing Kun Vieng, who is the Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Thailand Region 5, who couldn't be with us today. He had another engagement in Chiang Rai, so he is represented by Kun Chiap here, who is a lawyer herself. Of course, we have our distinguished president of the Indian Association of Chiang Mai, Ranjit Singh Ji. Thank you so much for joining us and representing the very vibrant Indian community of Chiang Mai. Thank you, Ranjit Singh Ji. So, of course, we have so many other people present here, our distinguished guests, but I won't, introduce each one because that will take a long time. But again, a big welcome to all of you in today's event. I would like to mention the staff of the Indian Consulate in Chiang Mai. Our long-standing Thai officer and assistant, Kun Bam, where is she? Oh, right here, always behind the wings, being busy. And we have Nirmal Bhattacharya, my assistant consul, who has replaced Manoj, who many of you know, and he has come in his place. Of course, he was here in the 15th August Independence Day function as well. And also Vikas Sharma, where is Vikas? Yes, he's my personal assistant. And then we have our security officers, Mr. Satyendra Rawat and Mr. Dhananjay Upadhyay. So I will not like to take too much of your time, but it is indeed my privilege and honor to deliver to you the message of the President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovind, on this solemn occasion. Dear fellow citizens and friends of India, my greetings to you all on our 70th Republic Day. This is an occasion to commemorate the values of our democracy and republic. Yet, this year is a little extra special. On October 2nd, we will mark the 150th birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, who led us and who inspired oppressed societies in Asia, Africa, and elsewhere to freedom from colonial rule. Gandhiji remains the moral compass of our republic. His teachings are still the touchstone to measure our policies and initiatives. His 150th anniversary is not for India alone. It is a joy to be shared with the world. A few weeks after Gandhiji's birthday, on November 26th, we will mark the 70th anniversary of the adoption of our Constitution. This enlightened and far-reaching document laid the foundations of our republic. It was the work of men and women of principle and patriotism, the members of the Constituent Assembly. In particular, we recall the role of Baba Saheb Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, who chaired the drafting committee. In his honor and in our Constitution's honor, the nation will celebrate Constitution Day this year in an appropriate manner. The values that shaped Indian independence and that continue to shape our republic, the values inculcated in our democracy and our Constitution, are also the values that uphold the supremacy of the people of India. This year, the people of India, each one of us, have another responsibility of voting in the general election and electing the 17th Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament. The ideas and idealism of our democracy will come into full force. Once more, as we do every 5 years, voters will deliver their verdict and write their destiny. This year's election will be the first when voters born in the 21st century will contribute to electing a new Lok Sabha. An election is not just a political exercise. An election is a collective call to wisdom and a collective call to action. I must, as an aside, say that this is particularly relevant in Thailand, that general elections are due here as well in the coming few months. It represents a renewal and a recommitment to the goals and hopes of a shared and egalitarian society. Excuse me. It represents the diverse and yet singular urges of the people and the Republic of India. This makes the very act of voting a sacred act. Please perform this act. Who the voter chooses to vote for is up to him or her. I would only request all eligible voters to go out and vote. Our country is at a key juncture. In some respects, this is as critical and formative a period as the late 1940s and early 1950s. Decisions and actions of today will shape the India of the remainder of the 21st century. As such, this is not just a once-in-a-generation moment, it is a once-in-a-century moment. Having said that, let us remember that this election is only a milestone in the journey towards fulfilling the aspirations of our people and building a developed India. India is at the doorstep of eliminating extreme poverty for the first time in memory. A program of universal and equitable health care has begun to be rolled out. Affordable medicines and medical devices and implants are becoming a reality for more and more sections of our people. A great number of Indians than ever previously have access to proper housing with modern sanitation and electricity. Connectivity in the form of ports and inland waterways, upgraded railways and new metro services, national highways and rural roads, cost-effective air services to the interiors of India, and of course, the surge in mobile phones and data access. This is bringing us together as never before. India has been united and integrated. Now it is being networked. Leapfrogging technologies and leapfrogging enlightenment are empowering our farmers and equipping our soldiers. They are enabling our traditionally deprived fellow citizens and educating our daughters and sons. They are exciting the entrepreneurial energies and the infectious startup culture that has made our younger generation and our India the focus of world attention and admiration. Fellow citizens and friends of India, in my travels across the country and my engagements with all sections of our society, I have sensed appreciation for such efforts and such hard-won advance. This is more so in the perception of senior generations that have lived through and strived to overcome the shortage economy. In area after area, commodity after commodity, we have converted difficulty into availability. We have done this step by step and year by year. And yet, whether in food grains or LPG cylinders, telephone connections, or even the ability to get a passport, change is apparent and change is visible. In many cases, technology has been a force multiplier. And in all cases, inclusiveness has been a moral multiplier. No conception of India's development can be complete without a salute to our spirit of inclusiveness, of access and opportunity for all, of an expansion and an embrace of those whom we consider our own. This country belongs to each of us and to all of us. every group and every community, every region and every identity. It belongs to every citizen and every individual. India's pluralism is its greatest strength and its greatest example to the world. The Indian model rests on a tripod of diversity, democracy, and development. We cannot choose one above the other. We must have all three, and we will have all three. The best indicator of social change in India is change towards gender equity and towards providing equal opportunities under conditions of equality to every girl child and every woman. In my experience, when given the chance, our daughters tend not just equal, but outperform our sons in the classroom. Young women in our country are moving ahead in every field, from academics to the creative arts, from sports to the armed forces. There is no stopping and no hesitation in this process. It is the route to India's future. Fellow citizens and friends of India, our republic has come a long way, and we must appreciate how far successive generations have brought us. Equally, we must appreciate that our voyage is far from complete. There are still waters to cover, still gaps to fill, and still tears to wipe. We have to recalibrate our yardstick of achievement and success from quantity to quality, from a literate society to a knowledge society, from a nation that has room for all segments and all communities to a family that invokes, encourages, and celebrates the uniqueness and potential in each person, each daughter, and each son. In his book, India of My Dreams, Mahatma Gandhi wrote of an India where the poorest will have an effective voice, where there will be no high class and low class, where all communities shall live in perfect harmony, and where women will enjoy the same rights as men. These ideals are a constant reminder of the India that we are building. In this context, the recent constitutional amendment to provide special facilities for talented children from poorer families is another step to an India of our dreams and of Gandhiji's dreams. The human experience is built on partnerships. Partnerships at home build a family. Partnerships at work build a business. Partnerships of different stakeholders build society. And partnerships of the government and the people build our nation. And partnerships of nations build a better world. In this manner, partnerships are the thread knitting together family, nation, and world, and leading to the treatment of the world as a family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Partnerships are enhanced by open communication, honest conversation, and unstinted compassion. This is true with members of our family. This is also true with sections or groups that have been historically disadvantaged and whose grievances must continue to be heard and addressed. It is important to create avenues for such conversations, even if they are inconvenient. In a society experiencing rapid change, we must be prepared for such conversations. And similarly, we must be alive to the need for compassion to those less privileged than us and to the differently able, for example. Our society has shown great regard for those, whether individuals or institutions, who devote themselves to people's welfare and go beyond the call of duty. The concept of seva, of devotion to public service and to the broadening of the ambit of justice, must get its due. Well-intentioned contributions of individuals, of groups of people, of institutions, whether public or private, of society at large, or for that matter of the government, must be acknowledged and appreciated. These are guiding principles for us at home as well as abroad. These are guiding principles that shape India's global approach, whether in peacekeeping, climate change mitigation, development partnerships, or humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. These are earning India a new respect in the international system. These are the principles, I would stress, that are at the root of our republic. Our republic's vision is that of reaching democratic goals by democratic means, pluralistic goals by pluralistic means, enlightened goals by enlightened means, inclusive goals by inclusive means, compassionate goals by compassionate means, and constitutional goals by constitutional means. May those principles always illuminate our path. After all, we the people gave ourselves this constitution, and we the people are the custodians and upholders of its principles. With those words, I once again wish you all a happy Republic Day. Jai Hind! So thank you very much. First of all, may I invite Dr. Narong. We would like to present him with a bouquet of flowers, and I would request my lovely wife Rajni to join me in presenting the bouquet. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay. 1, 2. One more please. 1, 2. Okay, please. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much.
ขอบคุณมากค่ะลำดับต่อไปเรียนเชิญคุณนุชค่ะ คุณสุริยะวรบัญญาสุริยะจักรวาลท่านเป็นนายกสมาคมวัฒนธรรมและเศรษฐกิจไทยเมียนมานะคะรวมถึง Tonal Tiger please come and join us and then Mr. Eki Tan Suwan please come to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you.
ขอบคุณมากนะคะที่ได้สละเวลามาร่วมงานในวันนี้ค่ะ Thank you ลำดับต่อไปค่อยขอเรียนเชิญคุณเจี๊ยบค่ะคุณสรัญพัฒน์สินใจดีท่านเป็นผู้แทนท่านผู้พิพากษาเวียงขวัญอ้นอินรองอธิบดีผู้พิพากษาภาค 5 ค่ะขอบพระคุณมากค่ะ
Thank you for coming.
One step away, please. Thank you. One, two, please. Thank you.
ค่ะและในลำดับต่อไปนะคะเรียนเชิญคุณรันจิตซิงห์และคุณพลตรีชาวลาค่ะเรียนเชิญให้เกียรติรับมอบช่อดอกไม้ค่ะ
So a little one step
Thank
on the
you.
right.
Thank you. One, two, one more, please.
ครับผม
ค่ะขอบคุณมากค่ะ
That's it. Thank you. So thank you very much. I would now invite the President of the Indian community, Shri Ranjit Singh Ji, to say a few words on this occasion. Please, Ranjit Singh. Would you like to speak something? So keep time. All right.
Namaskar, Swadikap. Good morning. At first, I wish all of you a very happy 70th Republic Day of India. I just want to say one thing about our national anthem, Jana Man. It was written by Rabindranath Tagore, and why it became national anthem? Because it was written before, a long time before India get freedom, and this anthem was very popular in Azad Hind Fauj and famous all around India. After the Second World War II, when Japanese forces was supporting the Indian Azad Hind Fauj, and they were defeated, and many of the freedom fighters were put in jails. And at that time, when their trials were running in Calcutta, now it's called Kolkata, all over the streets of Kolkata as well all over India, national anthem, today's national anthem, Janagan was very popular. And in the morning, every morning, people walk on the street to support.
Thank you so much, Ranjit Singh Ji, for that very meaningful message. And now I would like to invite the chief guest of today's event, Dr. Narong, President of the North Chiang Mai University, to please say a few words on this occasion.
We can have here. It's very difficult to do.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kong Sun Jain and his wife, and all the guests here. I'm on behalf of North Chiang Mai University President and all President of University in Chiang Mai. Altogether 12 university and Chiang Mai people give a best wish to President of India, Kovind, and Prime Minister, and all people of India for 70th Republic Indian Day today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to Dr. Narong, and that concludes the ceremonial aspects of today's event. Once again, we are so grateful and privileged to have all of you here today. We hope that the services and the partnership provided by the Consulate of India in Chiang Mai continues to prosper and deepens. And we are beholden to the Indian community of Chiang Mai for the wonderful cooperation. I would also like to announce that we have the new ambassador of India to Thailand, Her Excellency Mrs. Suchitra Dorai, who joined a few months ago, and she did make a brief personal private visit to Chiang Mai a few weeks ago, and she also did visit the Indira Gandhi Border Police School, which has been instituted by Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirindon by the prize money which she had got when she was given the Indira Gandhi Award in 2004. So Her Excellency the Ambassador had actually gone along with myself and the President of Indian Community to visit that school. And she will be now making an official visit to Chiang Mai in March, in the middle of March. And then all of you are cordially invited at a reception to meet Her Excellency and for her to meet all of you. So please do keep that in mind for that occasion. So I hope we have a splendid year ahead. And once again, from myself, from my staff, and from my wife Rajni, thank you very much. And do enjoy the lunch and refreshments and the fellowship which we will have together now. Dhanyavad. Please.